Welcome to the charming fishing village of Palatuviere, Tobago. I came here in search of a raw and authentic Caribbean experience. The idea of walking down to the beach each day and buying fresh fish, hanging out with locals, and exploring an exotic tropical island was simply too good to resist. Tobago is one of two main islands that make up the southern Caribbean nation of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm excited to share with you what life is like in this idyllic village and to showcase some of the island's must-see spots. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey through the enchanting paradise of Tobago. Palatuviere is pretty much the place of my dreams. A remote community of about 300 residents, it's bordered by a golden sand beach with emerald waters on one side and a lush rainforest on the other. Nat and I rented this property, which is called Tamarind House. A spacious timber villa located on a hill in the middle of Palatuviere. This balcony has been almost impossible to step away from, and the pool presents a similar problem. There are only a handful of holiday rentals in the area, and Tamarind House is one of the most luxurious. We felt privileged to have called this place home. Keen to embrace village life, we decided to spend the majority of our 30-day stay here without a car. A bus every couple of hours connects Palatuviere to larger towns, but a big supermarket is about an hour away. There is one very small shop just up the road from us, and another slightly larger one down by the pier. But for the people of Palatuviere, the main source of food is fish. Seven days a week, these guys head out from the bay in search of tuna, kingfish and mahi-mahi, which they often refer to as dolphin. Chatting with people like Andrew and Leroy gave me an insight into life here, and they always brought a smile to my face.
What sort of fish is it?
Mahi-mahi.
Oh, nice. But mahi-mahi caviar.
Yeah.
And which is the most prized? Like, which is the best one to catch? Kingfish. Right. How many years have you been fishing here?
15, 20. My age, 55.
And what do you do with that now? Stock or you throw it back in the ocean? Yeah, cool.
We feed the stingray.
Is it a nice life? Do you enjoy fishing?
Yes, but based on it, you educate yourself. You could own a boat. You go to fish on your extra time.
Yeah,
But you educate yourself and you get a bigger job, and then you could always go to
without the
fish
stress.
like on a weekend.
With a bag of filtered mahi-mahi going for $3.60 US a pound, or about $11.50 Australian a kilo. The soothing sound of gently lapping waves is occasionally overtaken by children playing at the small beachfront primary school. Talk about prime real estate. Leroy tells me most of the boys want to be fishermen because every day they look out at the water and wish they were there instead of the classroom. Just when I thought this place couldn't get any better, I discovered Palatuviere Waterfall. It's a short walk from the village, crossing a shallow creek and taking a track through the rainforest. On this occasion, like every other time I visited, we had the place to ourselves. There are currently no restaurants in Palatuviere, but that doesn't mean you can't get a good meal. I learned from a number of locals about a lady who lives at the end of the beach named Joanne.
Get your fears, forget the past. We'll pick things up when we get.
Hi. How are you?
Let's get lost
My first meal that I had cooked for the people of Palatuvia, for the fishermen actually, was roti, dal puri roti, curry chicken, chana potato, chickpeas potato, and it went beautiful.
Drawn to Tobago by the relaxed lifestyle, Joanne moved here from Trinidad with her late husband. She's a chef for a handful of locals, as well as visitors like us.
Where the melody comes in, right?
Home is wherever my heart needs to be.
You don't always want to be in the bustle and hustle. Take what God has given us and embrace it. So when you go back home, you have a piece of that. Save it in your heart.
I've been so happy and content here in Palatuvia. The slow pace is infectious, and I've thrived off enjoying the simple pleasures of life. But it would be a travesty to come all this way and not see more of Tobago. So on one of the windiest days of our trip, I went out with David and Anna, a husband and wife team who run Island Girl Tours. These two originate from Trinidad and share a passion for everything Tobago has to offer. So what is this?
It's a sorrel leaf. So we have the red sorrel, the black sorrel. Try it out. It's tasty, eh? You can add that to your regular salads, you know? I worked in the government in Ontario for 20 years. Just got tired of that. And I was like, why not just have a permanent vacation? Become a tour guide on an island. And why not my island? We never really showcased it, all the natural forests, waterfalls, all these things because of oil and gas. That left Tobago authentic.
Our first stop was Charlotteville, where our friendly skipper Curtis was preparing the boat for our departure. I said we were up for anything and suggested David and Anna show us a few of their favourite spots. Their adventurous spirit was immediately evident as we made our way to one of the island's lesser known waterfalls. As the breeze on the water dried our clothes, we continued to one of the island's most iconic locations, known as Pink Sand Beach or Lovers Bay.
It's named Lovers Bay because of the pink sand, and the pink sand comes from the coral that is broken up over time with the waves and the high tide and all of that. The beaches are the color of the sand, the people, everything here is colorful.
We made our way back to Charlotteville and set off to another of Tobago's most famous landmarks, a huge waterfall named Argyle Falls. After paying the entry fee, we followed a trail through the rainforest to what is one of the most stunning waterfalls I've come across in my travels. There are 3 tiers in fairly easy access, but waterfalls continue for hundreds of metres. If we'd had the time, I'm sure Barefoot David would have happily taken us further. I'd worked up an appetite, and it was time to visit the lively area of Store Bay, where I'd get the chance to try Tobago's most famous dish of crab and dumplings. You don't get things to break, you just do it yourself with your teeth? I've got no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I'll just get the sugar-free coconut, please. Thank you. The neighbouring ice cream shop has a huge array of flavours and luckily provides free samples. I'll go the regular coconut. After passing through the capital of Scarborough, we arrived at the manicured grounds of King George Fort, where David provided a history lesson on how this island became such a melting pot of cultures and cuisines.
With piracy and whatnot, we had so many French, Dutch, English fighting. Tobago actually changed hands either 31, 32, or 33 times, depending on where your sources are. So it's the most in the Caribbean. It was called Fort Castries around 1786, and then it was renamed Fort Republique, then Fort Liberté, then went back to the British, came back to the French, went back to the British. It became all British in the end, and it was named after King George III.
Trinidad and Tobago were unified in 1889, but both have a very different history of occupation.
The unity is amazing in Trinidad and Tobago. As the people, we are truly one.
The rest of the afternoon consisted of a visit to the rather eerie Petit Trou Lagoon before checking out a few more of the island's beaches as we made our way back to Palatouviere. David and Anna's love of their home had rubbed off on both of us, and we ended the day with a great appreciation for the diversity of this amazing island. We'd managed 16 days without a car with surprising ease. But eager to see more of what Tobago offered, we hired a car and set off to check out some of the most popular spots. There are a few potholes and plenty of goats, cows, chickens and dogs for an added distraction. While somewhat mentally exhausting, I really enjoyed driving through this beautiful countryside. Despite what some of my footage may suggest, this is filmed over January and February, which is peak season in Tobago. Most days are sunny, in the mid to high 20s with a slight breeze. There are stunning beaches dotted all across Tobago, with nearby Englishman's Bay a favourite for its inviting water, peaceful atmosphere, and delicious curry and roti for about $6.50. Castara, a town about 15 minutes away from Palatouviere, has a small grocery store, a coffee shop, and several casual dining options. Every Thursday and Saturday, the local bakers prepare a variety of breads and sweet treats in this dirt oven. As someone who has a mild obsession with bread, I loved coming here to pick up a few freshly baked loaves and chat to the locals while they went about their work. Further afield, the most famous place for a swim in Tobago is the Nylon Pool, a shallow white sand lagoon bordering a coral reef. On a rare overcast day, we travelled by glass bottom boat about 45 minutes from the mainland, witnessing many colourful fish and corals before taking a dip in the crystal clear water. Main Ridge Forest Reserve is a UNESCO-listed tropical rainforest only a 10-minute drive from Palatouviere. It's home to an array of birds and reptiles and easily accessed through the Gilpin Trail. Eager guides wait at the entrance and are the best bet to spot wildlife. But you can also enjoy a walk in solitude while taking in the sounds and sights. Palatouviere has given me one of the best travel experiences of my life. I reckon going without a car for 16 days was a really good decision. It forced me to immerse myself in the community, live local, and get to know the people, which is really what made it so special. I'm not sure it's the sort of place you want to come if you're chasing 5-star resorts and an American level of service and convenience, but what it offers is so much more than that. It's raw, and yet it's perfect, and I just hope this video has done it justice. If you know of any other places like this, please let me know so I can add them to the calendar for 2024. But for now, that's all I've got. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.